It's funny, man. Like I was just talking about Gorillaz and fucking British bands or English bands, whatever the fuck. Or anyway, they always like just like it's almost like Gorillaz is like fucking like 20 years. It's like I don't know. Like it's if like the Clash, Gorillaz are like the Clash just 20 years later or whatever, or I guess 30 years really. What? Yeah, I guess 30, right? 30, right? Well, get 25, 25. But like, and what I mean by that is like representation. Like these, I mean, the Beatles would be another example. You know, I'm just like going somewhere in the world that is represented and just showing to the world with the spotlight they have. This is what it's like. Look at it. Look at it. Isn't it marvelous? I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Whatever the hell that, you know, and yeah, it was definitely it's a necessity, especially with fucking tensions over fucking based on environmental factors causing people to have darker skin or lighter skin, etc. I mean, the band started. I see this is their first album. Like it's hard for me to listen to, but I think that's only because its sound has been like not as, I guess stolen. I mean, it's punk music, the punk genre generally. Just like there's plenty of other genres that just like they've been played to death, and it's just like there's no breathing room for them. And I listened to probably X before I listened to Y, and Y in this regards was fucking. Or would it be? I was listening to Y before X, right? I was listening to Y before X, and X in this regard was the Clash. So just for their first album, and then kind of like their second album. Combat Rock is probably my favorite album by them. Fucking Sean Flynn. I think Sean Flynn might be my favorite song by the Clash. It's just, I mean, it really just, it kind of is like proto post punk. It really, because they escape that typical sound of, you know, Sex Pistols or whatever the fuck, that typical punk rock, like fast paced or fast paced rock and roll. It's all it is, just fast paced rock and roll. And then you just got throw some social or political commentary over it and you're fucking good to go. And then, you know, Sex Pistols, they fucking showed a little bit of that. I mean, I'll talk about Sex Pistols another day. So, maybe it was drugs, or maybe, I don't know, maybe once when you get to see the rest of the world, you get to fucking, get a taste of different kinds of fruits, and I see that metaphorically and literally, whatever. And, they were interested in that reggae or just African sound in general. I mean, and reggae kind of, I don't know if it kind of spanned in the Caribbean per se, because I mean, I was just literally said, let me, hold on, Kingangolo Kenyatta. This is a band that's modern day, but I was just talking about, this band seems like whatever their sound is, whatever their energy is, something that has stuck around in Africa or just like in the world, for a very long time. And that same energy, even though this band exists today and the Clash existed back in the 70s, you know, into the 80s, whatever, that's that energy, that spirit, that soul, that interested or piqued the interest of the members of the Clash. You know, that, I don't know, I feel like there's a connection, even though they're 30 or 40 years, and there's a chance that Kenyatta even know who the Clash are, you know what I mean? But the Clash, I mean, any remaining members might want to know, or if they happen to be in the same timeline, I'm sure they would fucking definitely have, you know, either open or have them headlights, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm sure they would definitely, because it's just like the same fruit. It feels like it's from the same tree. Yeah, so I mean, with the Clash, it kind of is like there's this. I don't know why this might offend some people, but this is one of the few bands I didn't really listen, or didn't not really listen. I really didn't pay attention too many to the actual members of the band. I was just like, it's the Clash, the entity of, and that's just how I, you know, with a lot of bands. But for some reason, I mean, a lot of bands I do also kind of like did take the opportunity to actually memorize. But for some reason, this band, I mean, I knew Joe Strummer, Mick Jones, and Paul Simonon. Okay, and there's Topper Headon, Terry Chimes, Keith Levine, Rob Harper, Pete Howard, Nick Shepard, and Vince White. And I don't know if these guys were just like, once again, I know the top three are obviously probably the most recognized. And maybe that's just that those are the members of the Clash, and those guys are just like fucking fill-ins or something. I don't know. I have fucking no idea. I don't fucking know, man. I just know I like the Clash. And I hope that's fucking good enough, because it's not, go fuck yourself.